Hey there, I'm James Napoli. It's Carbonara Day, so today we're making my version. We're gonna start off by toasting black peppercorns in a hot pan. So these should only toast for about 30 seconds or so. And you'll know when they're done when they start to kind of pop and jump a bit, and then we'll take them right back out. And toasting them will just extract a lot of the oils out of the black pepper. You can already see they're jumping around in there a bit. We're just gonna take them right out, and you can kind of smell they get really nice and fragrant. Then once they're out of the pan, we'll just put them in a mortar and pestle, or if you have a pepper mill, you can put them right in there, and we'll just grind them up a bit. So carbonara likely gets its name from the black pepper itself. Once it's in the sauce, the little black flecks look a bit like charcoal, and the Italian word for charcoal is carbone, hence the name carbonara. Carbonara is not made with cream. What makes the sauce creamy is the emulsification of the eggs, the cheese, and a bit of pasta water. All of that together mixed really, really well. That's what makes the sauce really silky and smooth. So to get started, we are going to add 1/3 cup of pecorino romano, which is the traditional cheese. And then to lighten it up, I like to add 2/3 cup of parmigiano. Now the parm, that adds a little bit of a softer and a little bit of a nuttier flavor, whereas the pecorino is very salty and sharp. And I find that carbonara tends to be a little bit salty because of all the different ingredients that go into it. So this is my way of just lightening that up a bit. So into a bowl, we're gonna put both cheeses. We're going to add 3 whole eggs. And 1 egg white. But with your cheeses, it's important that you actually get the whole block and you grate it yourself. I never really recommend using the pre-grated cheeses that you find in the market. They typically have cellulose in them to keep the cheese from clumping, and that makes it really difficult for the cheese to really melt. And so if you use the dish will come out fine, it just would be a little clumpy. Next up, we're gonna add some of that toasted black pepper right into the ingredient mix here. So I would say maybe half a teaspoon to a teaspoon just to get started. And then we're gonna whisk this together just until it turns into a nice, smooth consistency. So now that that's all set, we're gonna set it aside. And I usually like to start with this just so that the eggs have time to come to room temperature. It just makes it a lot easier for them to emulsify into the sauce later on. Now we're going to cook 8 ounces of prosciutto in about a tablespoon of olive oil. So let's just add some oil to the pan, just a little bit. There's enough fat in the prosciutto that you don't really need too much. And just add it right in. And we're just going to let this crisp up on medium-high heat until the fat renders. Traditionally, carbonara is made with guanciale, and I really like the flavor of guanciale. I think it's delicious, but it does have a lot more fat than prosciutto does. So when I'm making a lean version of carbonara, I always stick to prosciutto. And what prosciutto does is it gives you the same pork flavor, the same salty depth that you would get from the guanciale, but it's a lot leaner. That looks so good. That already smells. Once the fat renders out of the prosciutto, turn it off heat and just let it kind of cool down. We want the pan to be warm but not hot. That way the eggs will stay silky and they don't scramble as soon as they hit the pan. So if you've been following this channel, you know that I always say to salt the water like the sea whenever you're making pasta. The exception is carbonara, and that's because it's a salty dish as is, right? You have salt in your pork product, you have salt in the cheeses, and so we really don't need to add much to it. So I will say with your pasta water, just add a pinch or 2 of salt before you put your pasta in. Just a pinch or 2. That's plenty. Now our water's boiling, so we're going to add the pasta and cook until it's al dente. For carbonaras, I usually like a long pasta shape, like a spaghetti or a bucatini or something to that extent. You could also do a rigatoni. I just think it looks a little bit more elegant with a long pasta, but that's just me. We'll take it off the heat, and then we're going to reserve 1 cup, maybe a little bit more, of that starchy pasta water. And we'll keep this just in case we need to loosen the sauce up. So we're going to take the pasta and we're going to add it directly into the pot with the prosciutto. And it's okay if some of the water goes right in. We actually want that to happen. And what that's going to do, that's just going to give a little bit of liquid for the sauce to start to come together. Okay. So just start mixing this up. Just to get the prosciutto mixed in. The trick to carbonara is to add your eggs slowly and just keep moving. Like, do not stop moving or else you risk the eggs starting to scramble. What we want is a nice luscious sauce. We do not want scrambled eggs. So just a little at a time. Just keep on moving. Do not stop. So there you go. You can see it's already starting to get this nice creamy texture to it. I like my carbonara to be a little bit on the saucier side. So I'm just gonna add just a tiny bit of that starchy pasta water at a time. And it's kind of counterintuitive because you're adding water, but the starch in the water is really going to help thicken the sauce. And that's gonna help it get nice and glossy. There we have it, it's nice and sauced. We have a lot of nice flecks of pork in there. And what I like to do now is just add another pinch of that toasted black pepper. Oh, looks amazing. Now, traditional carbonara recipes come in at about 40 grams of fat per serving, which is a lot. This one cuts that right in half, coming in at 19 grams of fat per serving. And it also comes with almost 45 grams of protein. This is a carbonara that is lighter, but still retains a lot of its authentic history. Now, if you like recipes like this, Italian classics made just a little bit lighter, please give me a follow. I release recipes like this every single week. Now, I cannot wait to dive into this. So, alla prossima. Can't wait to see you next time.